So I love to kick off with a form of gratitude. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure my note taker is still working because I typically tend to forget that. Um, so today I'm going to talk to you about something literally and figuratively. And it's coming from a scripture reference, but don't worry, I'm not preaching to you. I promise you, we're going to down that health path, and I'll tell you why in a second. So I want you to look at today's message as like a prayer and a practice. And it's brought to you by what I call Mabel's Virtual Health School. So every year, in honor of her birthday, I bring forth a message that's in honor of her health school, and that's the virtual health school. And my goal is to one day actually open one within the next 10 years. So, the scripture reading that I'm talking about is found in the book of Psalms, and my favorite handheld library is what I call it. And it's Psalms 51, verse 10. It says, "Create in me a clean heart, O God, renew a right spirit within me." And so I want to talk to you about creating a clean heart, literally and figuratively. I want us to talk about what's in your heart. So I want you to think right now. What's something that you would perceive as good that you can be grateful for that's within your heart? So for me, I know that kindness is within my heart. So I am grateful that I have kindness in my heart. So I would love to know, for those who are on stage, those in the listening lounge, just give me one thing that's in your heart that you're grateful for is in your heart. Who'd like to go?
One.
Tony C! Woo! Good to see you, brother.
What's in my heart? Resilience. Resilience is in my heart. Just that will to win. The will to tap into what I'm purposed. The reason why I'm walking on my 2 feet, the reason why I'm breathing, the reason why blood pumps to my veins, the reason why I'm able to even have this conversation and say what's in my heart. Resilience. I want to tap into all of those. Matter of fact, the story of Tony C. I wanna ride that till the wheels fall off. You understand what I'm saying? So that's in my heart. I understand, a lot of the things that it may entail. I understand the pain. I understand, the strain. I understand the fatigue. I understand the tears. And that's going to happen along the way. So guess what? If I've already accepted it, the moment that I have to cry, I'm going to do it. The moment that I have to feel pain, I'm going to do it. Why? Because in my heart, the true essence of who I am is winning. And when to get that win, it takes resilience. So resilience is in my heart, Shawnte. Resilience.
Woo! You know I got to give you. Listen, I tell people resilience is my middle name. Listen, I want to see a Ric Flair. Listen, Jiff, for that resilience is in Tony's heart. I absolutely love that. Who else? Who else? I promise we finna get to it. I got some good stuff for you.
What's in my heart is love. And love in your heart is not put there to stay. Love is not love until you give away. And I am intentional about that and everything else. So I'd have to say love because I see what has been created around me and I see the future coming with my great grandchildren, and it's love.
Woo! I absolutely love that, Jenny. Yes. Anyone else want to share a gratitude for something that is in their heart right now today? Doesn't have to be anything big or fancy.
For you, Miss Shawnte. You are the most amazing, beautiful queen. I love that you have a heart for people, a heart for books. Oh, which reminds me, I want to send you some books. So can you put I just got done ordering a bunch of my books. Can you put the link or you know how I could connect to get you those books in the chat? I would love that. But I'm grateful that God loves me, that Creator, Heavenly Father has safely gotten me to this this day, this age, this old, having grown through so many initiations, having endured so much wisdom to get to the point that I could be here not only thriving in my life, moving states for the first time. Who is this old? Because you guys, I'm a lot older than what I live. Most people tell me. So to get to and decides to leave and change states where she lives for the first time ever in their life. So I'm restarting again, and I'm just grateful that I'm supported by Miss Malika Starr, by so many other people who have just opened up their home for me. Her mommy opened up her home for me, so I'm staying with her, and just feeling embraced and welcomed and appreciated. And what I've really learned in life is to go where you're celebrated, don't stay where you're tolerated. And thinking back what Dora Maria was sharing about being comfortable. And when you're comfortable, that's what happens. You allow yourself to be where you're tolerated. So listening audience, please, please go where you're celebrated. So this is Trey. I'm tossing up the mic.
Woo! Absolutely. Love that. Who's that? Oh, Maria. Hey, Maria. Woo, Trey. I love you, sis. Over to you, Maria.
I'm good. What about you?
Good, good. I would love to know that gratitude in your heart right now.
Yes. I have a reflection of my mother on my heart. Because my mother is very kind and she loves humanity. I have a thousand of stories on my heart, and I have million of sense on my heart, and I'm really thankful because of patience that I have in my heart, and I'm really thankful because I have a quiet space for many, many questions, and really, just I share that I have a countless conversation on my heart. Thank you so much.
Woo! I am so grateful for your mother as well. So thank you so much for sharing her in gratitude. Final call, anyone else? Because I got some juicy, figurative, as well as literal heart cleaning things that we're going to get into today. Anyone else? Final call. Let me check the chat and see if anyone put any in the Let me check the chat and see if anyone put any gratitudes in the chat for their heart. All right, so let's get this thing going, y'all. So I want you to look at today this message, and I really hope it stays with you because when I tell you, not only from burying my friend this weekend, who is literally the exact same age as my grandmother when she transitioned. Um, my grandmother's name is Mabel Wells, and my friend LaShonda just passed. And I don't know about you guys, I feel like it's awfully young. 59 is young, right? And you know how they say people can pass from a broken heart? Like I definitely think that there's something to that. Her daughter had just passed away in October, week after my birthday. And so that's been quite a bit on my village. And for her to just pass now on April 11th on her daughter's birthday. And knowing what's happened with my grandmother, 5 day, her birthday is today. She died, no, literally not even 5 days. She died on the 25th, 2 days before her 60th birthday. And I started seeing a trend. Noticed that my other aunt passed away before her 60th birthday. And I don't know about you guys. So it made me start digging. What's going on, like, in my family? Like, finding out how heavy heart disease was running on my grandmother's side. And I was starting to notice the trend, with the exception of my mom and now my current aunts. And I think by losing my first aunt, the first of the sisters to pass, it woke them up like, whoa, like there's something to this. Like there's something that, we got to change. So I came to ask you a question. What's in your heart? What's in your heart, sis? What's in your heart, brother? What's in your heart? I would really want you to sit with that because when I tell you that I was up from 2 a.m. straight through until about midnight, and I'm talking about I had energy. I had to scrap everything that I had planned to originally speak about at a presentation that I was doing, and this has been like with me. Like, you got to lean in on this on Monday. You have to lean in on this because we're not looking at not only just the figurative aspect of this, but the physical aspect too. There's two things that I'm charging you with today. You know, a charge to keep I have, create in me a clean heart. Is your goal that you've had, is your business, your pursuit of money, has it become an idol within your heart? Is having a mate, having a husband or a wife, has that become an idol within your heart? What's in your heart? You know, some are pumping iron, they pumping peptides, they got dreams, they got pride, they got vision, goals, strife, rage. I can identify with that one. Impatience, show enough can identify with that. Naivete, anger, innocence, loyalty, lust, convenience, hope deferred, which my favorite book says makes the heart sick. Patience, consistency, vengeance, jealousy, grief, longevity, pain, wishes, growth, stress, high tide, as I like to call it, high levels of stress, peace, wickedness, conflict, love, conviction, growth, joy, persistence, covetousness, lies, the Decepticons of deception, wisdom, faith, long suffering, and purity. And that's where I want to get into things that can purify our heart. What is that thing? Only you know. You don't got to come off mic and share it. That's only if you want to. But I would love to know, what's that thing in your heart? What's that thing in your heart? What's the thing in your heart that needs to get clean? I want to know figuratively as well as, listen, literally. Have we done things today, this morning, or even if it's later in the day for you? What have you done to clean your heart? Have you examined your heart? When's the last time you thought about really the things that are in your heart? What's in your way? What needs to still be purified? What do you need to set fire to in your heart? What are some things that you know that's in your heart that needs to come out, that needs to be purged? See, I know impatience needed to be purged out of my heart. I knew for a fact that the rage and the anger, I knew for a fact that it had to get out of my heart. And I knew that the hope deferred, it makes the heart sick. That sitting around hoping and wishing with no action behind it. That wanting something but not putting in any type of work towards it. Thinking that it's going to fall out the air or fall off a tree for you somewhere. Uh-huh. Hope deferred is laziness in your heart. Things like that. Are you looking at somebody else's metabolism and you're getting mad and jealous? How about we mind our own metabolic business? That's what I call it. What's in your heart? What are the things that are in your heart? I want to start with the figurative. Clean thoughts, motives, habits, blood flow, daily chores, forgiveness over bitterness, peace over chaos. We're not here by accident. I need you to think about that forgiveness piece. I want to park right there for a second. Do you realize that that raises stress? Do you realize that that increases, it spikes your cortisol hormones? I need you to think of that person. You know that there's someone, something, and maybe it's you. Maybe you haven't forgiven you for something that you did. But that forgiveness over the bitterness. It's time to forgive. And if you're asking the question, man, you don't know what they did. I don't have to know what they did, but I do know what Nelson Mandela said. He said, unforgiveness is like drinking poison, expecting the other person to pass away from it. But you're the one that's drinking the poison. Literally, it poisons your system. There's a book by Desmond Tutu and his daughter. They wrote the Book of Forgiveness. And I really, truly, I was highly surprised when I went through grief counseling that that book would be that she would go down the forgiveness route. And I was like, lady, I just lost 11 people during the pandemic in a short period of time. What are you talking to me about forgiveness for? Like, what that got to do with me grieving my loved ones? And oh, my, y'all. Can I tell you the great work, the breakthrough? That is how I didn't even realize that I had rage underneath because it was being covered up because I shouldn't feel that way, but I was upset. And it wasn't just a little upset. It wasn't just anger. It had turned into quiet rage. And I'm so grateful for that book and the practice within it and what they walk you through in the book of forgiveness. It's literally called the book of forgiveness. So if you're someone that's, struggling with forgiveness and holding on to forgiveness, you don't have to share with us. You got to tell us your business unless you want to just, free yourself. And there's something that you want to just say, hey, there is this thing I need to forgive, but I just wanted to put that resource out there. I just wanted to share with you that there is help. There is help, y'all. Forgiveness over bitterness. Because stress is something that we're not to get rid of. Stress is something that has to be managed. Just like we practice water safety, when we talk to kids about water safety, we got to talk to our loved ones about stress safety. Stress is to be managed, not eradicated. Stress is to be managed, not eradicated. And so when we hold on to a root of bitterness, it raises our stress levels. And then I need to talk to you about the peace over chaos. Peace over chaos. We're not designed to carry heavy burdens. Listen, at my favorite handheld library, it tells me, listen, that his burdens are light. Listen, his yoke is easy. I'm not to be the heavy burden carrier. That's not my job. That's not your job, sis. That's not your job, brother. And I really, truly believe my grandmother was the nicest person that I've ever met. And I think that she carried so many burdens in her heart. My friend Sean reminds me a lot of my grandmother. And I remember Dr. Gate, I think it's Gabor Maite. Y'all know my country accent. I mess up words a lot. But Dr. Maite, and he talked about, that there's something to that statement that people say the good die young. And he talks about that suppression of like their emotions and the stress and all of these things. Like it's a fascinating talk. If you've never heard him, I highly recommend. I'm not sure if he's out of Orlando. Tony, have you ever heard of Dr. Okay, Tony had to leave. I know he goes to work around this time, but Dr. Gabor Maite, Mate. If you guys get a chance, I highly recommend that you look him up. And he has, oh man, now my doctor would want to call right in the middle of this, y'all. I'm just like, yo, I've been trying to reach them for the last 3 days, trying to pick up I had some testing that was ordered. So I just wanted to say, like, that was such a powerful statement. And he threads the needle of, just this whole thing and his mom getting sick and him going to the hospital. And he had just fractured something. He had a pretty serious injury, and he straightened up. And even though, like, and pretended in essence to not be in pain. And he said, it's that thing right there of not wanting to trouble anyone, holding on to certain things. And I forget which disease that he was saying that people who are typically caretakers, I think it was MS, that the incidence of MS is high in nurses and people who tend to be caretakers and hold things in, and they're trying to they basically neglect themselves in many ways to care for others, or they don't let you know what's going on, or they don't turn that attention in. And so I'm saying to you, create in me a clean heart, a prayer and a practice. I need you to practice peace over the chaos. I understand you got a gazillion things to get done, but peace, be still. You matter. Be still enough to care for you. Love your loved ones enough to restore and recover and replenish you. I don't know who this message is for, but I really felt this burning. I'm telling you, I felt it in my bones that I had to get this to you. I had to get this message to you that I need you. I need you. That forgiveness, that peace over the chaos. Somebody is working with chaos. And I need you to do something about it. I need you to give yourself permission to recover from the day. There's a reason why we're on a 24-hour cycle. There's a reason why that we need sleep. There's a reason why we need to move our bodies. There's a reason why we need to have hydration. There's a reason why our body is a water medium. I need you to understand these all are things to purify our most important muscle. People think about, all taking care of the external muscles so that their arms can look good, their legs can look good, their glutes, their butts can look good, their abs, their stomach can look good. But yet and still we neglect the most important muscle, which is our heart muscle, the one muscle that works 24/7. What are you doing to nourish it? What are you doing, not only just figuratively, what are you doing physically to take care of it? Are you bathing your heart? See, in Proverbs 4:23, it says, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. What flows out of your heart often starts with what you allow into it. Are you allowing big pharma and big sugars products like high fructose corn syrup in it all the time? Are you allowing soda in your heart all the time? Are you refusing to drink at least half of your body weight in ounces of water all the time? Are you refusing to do the 478 deep breathing meditation, which is going to bring in the nitric oxide that your heart needs? Your heart needs the nitric oxide, and you can get it for free. All you have to do is help those molecules travel from your nostrils into your heart by the intentional nose breathing so that it can help clean your heart. So ask yourself, what am I carrying that I need to release? What habits need cleaning? What thoughts need replacing? So I need you to understand this. Chaga can help you change things. Chaga is a powerful mushroom. It's known as the king of all mushrooms. And the link above my head is something that I really love because it gives me an all-encompassing, the chlorophyll, the quercetin, the moringa. There is such a powerful green drink that tastes so well. I love the fact that they figured out a right ratio of mint to have in it. But if you can't have chaga, I'm telling you, Organifi green juice can be that game changer for you. So, chaga is considered the king of all mushrooms, and you guys know Four Sigmatic is the way I go. But you can find whatever company works best with you. But chaga is something that is going to help your body detoxify, is going to help deal with the oxidative stress. See, there's a cost for your lungs working, there's a cost for all of your muscles working, and your heart is a muscle. And so, free radicals is the byproduct. Just like your tailpipes on your cars, how give off exhaust, your movement, your daily life force. This is why recovery is an intentional thing. You have to have a real recovery plan. Chaga is the king of all mushrooms. So, if you didn't know where to start, chaga would be the place that I would say, unless you're someone that is dealing with kidney failures or you're sick, you're sensitive to oxalate, the oxalation process, OXALATE. You would know, the doctor would already had a conversation with you about something like that. Other than that, chaga is in, again, I am not talking about some supplement that you popping. I'm talking about food here, y'all. So I please understand. And again, this is for informational purposes. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm just giving you some additional options. As you guys know, every Medicinal Monday, I love to give you guys, options of different things that could help you and your loved ones. But specifically, chaga is one thing. I tell people if you can't afford any other mushroom, then start with chaga if you're not sensitive to it, if you're not someone that's going through kidney failure, because chaga, instead of helping your oxidative stress, it would actually do the worst. It's do the opposite because of the process that it goes through. So a lot of people who have like kidney stones, things along that family, gallstones, typically they fare better with something like a reishi, but chaga specifically is not the way to go. But that's okay if you're someone that has issues with fungi or anything mushroom related. So if a mushroom tea is, would cause an allergy for you, I got you covered. Chlorophyll water and quercetin. Querticin. If somebody could drop that in the chat for me, I would love, love, love that. Quercitin. And I love not to have to overthink about mine. That's why I have the Go packets, Organifi green juice. They have a lot of different, and it's real food. So I want you to know, like these, that, the link above my head, this is a food. This is something that you just add to water. It's a real food, like you'll see when you open the packet. This isn't some chemical concoction of non-food based thing. It's actual like food. Like it's an actual beverage. So I just wanted to make sure that I talked to you about the importance of those three: chaga, chlorophyll, and quercetin. These are heart cleaning agents that you can invite into your daily routine that's not talked about enough. It's not talked about enough. Four Sigmatic is the company that I utilize. And I had so much more that I wanted to share with you guys, but I wanted to leave time, and I want you to understand like all plants are not created equal. So quercetin is something that is a plant-based compound. And I love the fact that you get a twofer with quercetin, because not only is it going to also help you, fight the good fight and put out the fire of oxidative stress. This is why I love to make sure that not only do I have the king of all mushrooms, chaga, going hard in the paint for me. So I have like chaga is something I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I start with the king, baby. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then I alternate between the lion's mane and reishi Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So I definitely cycle in my nutrients. And then the Organifi green juice, I do that every other day. So, or sometimes I'll do two and two. So I'll do Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday. So you can work things out however is easiest for you to put in your schedule. But the thing that I love about quercetin is because it champions your immune system while also helping, listen, your body combat your cells, specifically the oxidative stress. The reason why it comes to a point of overload and inflammation for us, you guys, is when free radicals, you ever heard the phrase, anybody ever heard the phrase that when the cat's away the mice will play? Anyone ever heard that statement? No, I'm not. Okay, somebody heard that statement before. Yeah. Okay, good. I was like, was my grandma the only one that said that? But here's the point that I want you to get from that. When you guys refuse to allow your body time to recover, when you don't drink your nutrients, you allow the cat to be away. What's the cat I'm talking about? I'm talking about things that are going, antioxidants and polyphenols that are going to actually keep the mice from playing all over your cell yard, playing all in your bloodstream, but more importantly, playing in your heart and your arteries specifically. So quercetin helps put out that fire instead of feeding it. See, sugar, all of that high fructose corn syrup, specifically the what they put in soda, the toxins in soda. Listen, a lot of the things that are put in the fried foods, oh my gosh, and the golden arches, the biggest offender of them all, that stuff leaves a trace. It's like taking a razor blade to your arteries, but also you're bringing your cells under attack. And so you need something that's going to stop killing the cat and that can bring it back. And that's where quercetin comes in. That's where chaga comes in. Listen, these are like your paratroopers, coming in and to save the day. And then the chlorophyll water. Listen, this is something that not only is important because of the hydration, I need you to understand that you can actually enjoy it. This is something you can enjoy because you need something that is going to help with your blood volume and your circulation. So while quercetin and chaga is over there doing the 1-2 punch, guess what? That chlorophyll is helping to purify. Listen, you got to have enough fluid. You have to have enough fluid, and then you have to have something that is going to purify. So, real talk here. Ain't no powder, no tea, or no supplement can outwork poor sleep, chronic stress, your refusal to move your body, your fast food overload. Listen, and you ignoring medical care. And you know what it is. Somebody in this audience, somebody maybe even on the stage, you've gotten some type of diagnosis and you think that high blood pressure just going to go away on its own. You think them clogged arteries going to go away on its own. You think that you can keep eating like you did when you were 24 when you was eating a bunch of junk. And I'm telling you, God gave us wisdom. God gave us wisdom. God gave us wisdom. I'm begging of you. This is the one time I'm going to beg. I'm begging for your story not to end up like my grandmother's story. I'm begging you not to leave prematurely. I'm begging you to go for the goal, which is, listen, a lot of people take out of context what Moses was talking about in Psalms chapter 90 verse 10 verse 10 through 12. And I realized in that time that I was up at 2 a.m. It hit me like a ton of bricks, like a ton of bricks. I was born on 10/12 because I really have been struggling asking God, like, there has to be more here. What is the meaning of all of this? What is this push with the heart? And it hit me. I said, oh, they misread and misinterpreted the whole thing about 70 and 10. That God never said that your day is going to be 70 and 10. That's not a death governor. That is not, oh, and if you make it to be strong enough to be to 80, that's not the point. He's talking about, numbering your days, redeeming the time that you have, applying wisdom to your heart. That's not about you thinking that God is giving you just 70 years or 80 years. Listen, in Genesis chapter 6, verse 3, it says that man days, you ain't got to take it from me. You can go look it up. You were designed to be a centenarian. You were meant to live at least 120 years. That's the divine. That's the thing, but you're not going to get there if you refuse to clean your heart. And I'm talking about a prayer and a practice. Clean your heart from the figurative things that is dirtying it up. Clean your heart from the physical things that you know is messing it up. You don't have to die prematurely as my grandmother did. It rocked my whole world. Listen, it left our family in shambles. She was the glue that held us all together. I'm telling you, looking at what happened now with my friend, she was the exact same age as my grandmother. Looking at what happened with my aunt. Listen, she was 56, even younger than my grandmother. And notice I'm calling out women. And there's a lot of men too. There are some of you, you need to go and get your CAC test done. You got blockage in your heart. You're doing nothing about that coronary artery disease. Stop ignoring that medical diagnosis. Get busy taking care of it now. Listen, I need you to understand this. Ain't no tea or no powder gonna outwork you without you making sure you take your movement medicine. You gotta walk more or move your body more. Even if you're bound to a wheelchair, you could still move your body. You could still contract your muscles. You could still, listen, do things while you're seated. You could do seated Tai Chi. You could do seated yoga. There are all forms of different types of, you could do Qigong. You gotta stress less. You have to stress less. You got to hydrate better. This is where that chlorophyll is going to come in at. And you got to forgive quicker. You got to eat wiser. You got to rest deeper. I'm telling y'all. Listen, ease magnesium can help you get to that delta phase of sleep that your body needs. Your heart is dependent upon it. And then you need to love fully. I love that Jenny's gratitude was about the love in her heart. So I want to leave you with this. I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health above all things. That's 3rd John chapter 1, verse 2. So I don't want you to just pray for a clean heart. I want you to live like you want to keep one. The floor is open, y'all. I would love to know what came up. Questions, comments. The floor is open.
You are on fire. Okay, listening audience, what the beautiful Shawnte is telling you guys right now is to be proactive, because most people wait until it's too late. They act like they're 20 forever. You're not going to be 20 forever. You are not a teenager forever. Your body is enduring all the things that you have subjected it to up until this point. If you think the things that you did going crazy as a teenager isn't affecting you now, well, don't be mistaken. It is. It has done what it did. It has implemented the damage already. Some of us already notice our knees cracking, our elbows doing stuff. Well, your body has endured that, and your heart is the thing that keeps it all going. And a lot of people don't realize that your heart is affected by all of your energy bodies. I believe we have a mental energy body, an emotional one, a spiritual one, in addition to the physical one. So those thoughts that you have that like Shawnte said, that are stressing you out, that are causing you pain, anger, resentment, all of those things, it's affecting your heart. Your heart has to push that negative energy through. And a lot of you guys, or if you go out and Google the water test where they talked mean to the water, and then the mean energy caused the water to shift and made it dirty and brown and yucky. Well, that's happening to your heart. Your heart's navigating that negative energy when your emotions are out of control, when you're sad, when you're really like even letting the things like driving in traffic, people cutting you off, those little things that stress you out, it's affecting your heart. When you are having spiritual lows, because I know sometimes I'm like, Creator, Heavenly Father, what is going on? I'm so sad. I'm so angry. I'm so whatever, or doubting that God has a plan for you, or that the best is yet to come, or whatever it is. Those spiritual things, they're affecting your heart. So please be proactive. Start looking into the things that will help benefit your body now, before you're in the doctor's office being told that your heart's only working on 20%, or that you have diabetes, or that you have all of these other things that come from the stresses of life. So thank you for all of that amazingness. I am on it with the supplements. I take NAD, I take NMN to help my body rejuvenate and revitalize. I'm all about evening primrose, so many other things because of that thing. I know I'm here for the long tour of duty. So this long tour of duty, I want my body to be responding. I don't want to be the lady in Depends when I get older. I don't want to be the lady who's in the wheelchair, because I already was paralyzed and and rejuvenated from that. So take care of yourself. I'm tossing it up.
Woo! My sister's on fire. Hey, Jenny, how are you?
I have been a little exerciser from water aerobics to yoga to step. We did a step class, my two daughters and I stood in back of them. And we did that class for about 5 years, and I can still remember. I don't think I could quite do it the way I did it then, but I would keep up with them. I mean, we stepped up, we stepped down, you stepped across, you know. But I mean, I that routine is still wired in my head. Then I did water aerobics. I did fitness. We had a personal trainer who trained my daughters to do the marine mud run, which both I did not do that. They did it. My middle grandson did it, and my daughter came in first in her age group. She's 62. She is physically fit. But if people have to learn, they think when they're young, you know, you're just implacable. You can't, nothing can happen. You think you just you can go on no sleep, you can eat sugar, you can drink, you can do all this. But if you don't prepare your body for old age, you're not going to make it to old age. I mean, things could happen, but I try to teach young people now that now is the time to prepare for being old. And you can lose your sugar cravings. You can, the big business, big pharma, the things that are advertised are so enticing. There's actually a movie on Netflix about that, how we are in our headspace driven to just carelessly, something will pop up, and in that minute you say, "What the heck?" You buy it. So you have to become hardened or aware or head smart about, before I buy this, is it something? Because in the end, you can have all this stuff in the world. And my hero, who I adored, Toby Keith, died at 62 with $500 million in the bank. Well, you should be your bank, your body should be your bank, and you should prepare it, give up something that is frivolous. And there's a lot of things I call frivolous for something that is more important. And there are things now, grounding is a big thing. And I do infrared therapy, red light therapy. There's a difference between the two. There's compression therapy. There are therapies I do now that I still, I get to exercise 2 days a week at a hospital gym for free because of where I live. And I don't even, it's like think without thinking. Say Tuesday at 2 o'clock, I'm doing this. And just, I used to make up my mind I was going to do that, and I could not do it because I said to myself, you know what I mean? You have to curate yourself into a kind of driven to support yourself. It's like put on your oxygen first, because if you don't, you can't save somebody else. So if you're not moving when you're 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, when you're 60 or 70 or 80, it becomes harder to move.
One,
So
one.
I move whatever parts of me move. And so that's it. Thank you.
1000%. Jenny, you in my Thursday message, Jenny. I was literally for Therapeutic Thursday. I'm going to be talking about grounding. So that's so interesting that you brought it up, and you are spot on. And this is why I love, having this opportunity to do Medicinal Mondays, y'all, to just be able to continue to come forth and just let's go, let's walk through these things. Like, I'm trying to not give you more than three options at a time, And on Thursdays, every Thursday I'll be dropping different therapies. And so I'm so happy to see Gino to the stage because Thursday, Gino, you're all in. So the lion, I was just talking about lion's mane and L-theanine, and in that, because I use Four Sigmatic and the turmeric and the curcumin is all it's in it. So man, I hope you get a chance to check out the replay on Thursday. But Gino, I love the tip that you put, in the chat. Anyone else? What else? What came up for you guys?
Thank you. I definitely just wanted to come up and back everything that you were saying from multiple angles, a personal angle, but also from that of a angle of having lost my mother. I was 28 years old, you guys. My brother was 26 years old. My niece was like 2 years old. She knew her grandmother. She loved her grandmother, her grandfather. She no longer has a grandmother. My nephew is like 3 or 4 years old now. He never got to meet his grandmother. Don't let that be you with your children and your grandparents. No 20, 28-year-old should be losing their mother. It was congestive heart failure. This, this, this shit is real. And so now, personally, I was almost 400 pounds at my heaviest weight. There's no easy way out. I have had no drugs. I have had no weight loss surgery. Do you know what I did? Excuse my French. I got my fat ass out there and I ran. I started off walking, then I started jogging, then I was able to run a mile, something I never in a million years thought I would be able to do. Then it was like, oh, what? Now I'm pushing a 2 miles, and it didn't feel like anything. Then I pushed a 3, 4, 5. Like there's no easy way. And then of course my diet. You have to do the hard work. It's just fact. Like I don't know how else to put it. And I'm not like trying to stand on any sort of pedestal or anything like that. I'm just saying from my own personal experience, read ingredients and foods like sugar is, I'm sorry, it is the devil, you guys. It is killing America, like destroying America. And people just don't understand. It is in everything. Like, think about like milk. There's natural milk and sugar, but milk is not sweet. So if you want to drink a nut milk, you would think, okay, it's like it should just taste like regular milk, right? But look at the side panel of a regular almond or nut milk. It has like 10 grams of sugar per serving. Why? It shouldn't be sweet. You have to buy like there's so every little thing that you can possibly think of is filled with some sort of starch, some sort of sugar. It's just insane. Like for me, I've been vegetarian and low carb and all the things and the stuff for many years at this point. But I'm just saying, like, you have to do the hard work, you guys. It's that do it now, or you're going to be like, oh, why did I do it later in life when you're in like how many times do you have to look past a reel on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, somebody's dying of cancer, of some sort of disease, amputation, it's not all just because of like they just happen to get this stuff. It's a lot of it is due to like what we're putting into our bodies. So I'll shut up there, but yeah, I love conversations that tell people to focus on bettering themselves and just doing the hard work.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. When you said that, Gino, about your mom, I immediately thought about my mom because I was like, oh my gosh, she was 29 when my grandmother passed away. And like when you said it, it's like I really got it. I was thinking so much about my own grief, but I didn't even think about the fact that she was a young adult herself and her mother was gone now. And I don't know about y'all, but like the thought of not being able to have my mom in my 20s, like, you know what I mean? To lose her that early during young adulthood, that's tough. And yes, yes.
Me as a 40-something-year-old man now, like 43, um, to think back and go, you know what? I've accomplished some crazy shit in my life too. To have to go, I wonder how cool it would be. Because I have a great relationship with my dad. We were a very close knit, tight knit family. They were married for 28 years, yada, yada, yada. But like, do you know how crazy it is for me to look back and go and say, I wish that as a grown adult that I could like share these accomplishments with my mom or like let her see, because you know when you're younger you don't like let your parents see your personality. Like she'll see how funny I am, how crazy, how much of her personality I have in me. Do not let that be your children or your grandchildren, please. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, like completely like understand and I concur. And I'm so grateful that you shared just even that. I feel like we took a trip down memory lane and we can tell like just the funness in your voice when you mention her. And I'm grateful for the time that you did get with her. And I honestly, that's the type of relationship. I spent most of my time with my grandmother, so like she really had a significant role in raising me. And I always revisit that. I was like, man, I wish she could see who I am now at 48. I wish, she could have been here to see, just all of the different things that I've gone through and, wondering like, would she be proud of me? Like, the things that she spoke into my life. So I can completely concur. I want to recommend the Yuka app to you guys. So if you're not sure of, when you're in the stores and scanning things and, not sure where to go in or what was what, I highly recommend. It's spelled Yuka. If somebody could put it in the chat for me, I would really, really appreciate it. It's called the Yuka app. So whenever you want to try a new product or if you want to kind of get a real your unbiased look at what's going on, when you scan that product. And it's been a very helpful, useful tool. So I really just wanted to give you guys a minute if you had any questions. Therapeutic Thursdays will happen this Thursday, the closing shift. And I will be talking more about that. I will not be in the room tonight for Rucking and Bucking, but it will still take place. And we're going to continue on this medicinal train, you guys. And I am going to go on to the next one. So, like next week, I will be teaching you guys. I'll be talking about turkey tail, right? Turkey tail, shake your tail feather. I felt like my inner Tina Turner coming out. So, I absolutely love, love, love being able to just, bring us some more options and then you guys can see which ones work for you all. I follow a pescatarian protocol now, and it has really been a difference maker for me. Getting back and reconnecting to, a protocol that works for me. And I highly recommend that you just start, taking a look at some of the things that you're bringing into your body. And if you're caring for anyone, the things that you're bringing into their bodies, as well. And I cannot stress enough the hydration piece. Fix your water relationship. Fix your water relationship. I love that Trey brought up. I called, he was like a hippie, like chemistry and society. Teacher, professor when I was in college. And he actually did that experiment. Like to think about how long ago that was. And he was already, and this is before talking about things like this was okay without them trying to tar and feather you, right? But he talked to us about that. Like he really, truly, he thought that there was a way of water and that, when are engaging in such negativity and speaking negativity and we had these dishes and we froze the water that was like, chaotic, it's not so nice things and all these kind of things going on. And when I tell you, if you could see the pattern in what came out with those ones that was like the negative water that we put into the freezer versus the water that was treated with kindness and spoken life into. I mean, it was a flat, smooth like ice, versus the other one was I was like, no way. I mean, and we repeated that over and over, and it was the same thing. So I've always believed that, Trey. So I love that you brought that point, up. So I really just hope that you guys will take this as a prayer and a practice. Start somewhere. I don't want you to be overwhelmed. And if you want to get the cheat sheet from today's message, along with some of the benefits, so you can see it visually and see some of my notes, you can inbox me and I will literally, I made a little pictogram. I love the fact that AI can take the content that I've had in my brain and my notes and add pictures to make it an easy to follow thing. It has been a game changer for me. So I have easy cheat sheets now for all of my lessons because now, being able to crank out something like that, because I'm not a design, kind of person. I'm not artistic. God didn't bless me with that part to be able to design things. But these cheat sheets have been game changers for people. So they have really been enjoying it because I've just had boring, regular text with bullets, cheat sheets, literally. So if you want the cheat sheet from today, you guys let me know and I can send that over to you.
Just want to say this. I was reading, it sounds ridiculous, but the hug a tree thing, read about it, it's a real thing.
I know, Jenny. I'm talking about it when I ground. I was gonna talk about hugging and touching trees on Thursday.
Kind of messes with your head because you're thinking, I'm hugging a tree, and there's another thing about talking to your water, and I'm reading all these things, and I'm kind of stunned. So maybe you can tell us. about
Absolutely. Y'all got to come back on Thursday. So we will be talking for Therapeutic Thursday. That's the thing that I love about being able to do, different things on certain days. So I have, and then Saturdays, I'm going to be launching Trey Sanative Saturdays. So, hey, I'm sorry, who's that unmiked? I can't see the stage. Oh, okay. I think is it Riarn? Good to see you, brother. But yeah, Jenny, yes, I love that, Jenny. So I'm looking forward to this Thursday's lesson. I hope that you guys will come back for it. And also, we have rooms every day. You're in the Breakfast with Champions, the Millionaire Breakfast Club, and everyone has a seat at the table. And so we are committed to motivation, education, and inspiration. And I truly hope that you've not only been educated today, but that you've also been inspired today and motivated to do something more for your health, to clean your heart literally and figuratively. So yes, Jenny, I will be talking. Jenny, all in my message for Thursday, Trey. I love it. So this has been such a great thing for me. Right? I'm telling you. And yes, so today is my club anniversary on my grandmother's birthday. So I really hope that you guys have enjoyed today's message. It's been brought to you by Mabel's Virtual Health School. My grandmother, she was my shero. Trey, like when I was really little, I used to really, truly, I was like, when you're hearing the concept of God, and I used to think, I was like, is she a God? She was so tall. She was so tall and her skin was so dark and it was blemish free. Like I just remember like I used to just look in awe, like literally of her. I had never seen, anyone as tall like as her, and her skin was just so beautiful. It was just this glowing like chocolate skin that like when I tell you my grandma was my hero, y'all, like I am so grateful. Like I really truly like her and my grandpa were so tall. Like when my mom is not. So she took after her grandmother who was really short, which is so interesting. my grandma, all the grandkids, Jenny, all of us came out tall, like our grandparents, and all of their kids came out short, like my grandma's mom, or my great grandma. Duh, I don't know why I didn't connect the dots really quick in my mind. Um, so it's just such an interesting thing of like, just that concept of the things that you get to see as a kid. And I noticed that my grandpa, he ate very differently than my grandma. And so on his side of the family, they lived to be centenarians. Like he died the youngest, and I think it's only because once he was put in a home and he was no longer eating, like fruits and vegetables from the earth. He never like ate fast food, any of that type of stuff. Like he was such a specific like eater, not just because of the fact of being farmers, but I think like there's something to it. You know what I mean? Like that, the longevity before it became a whole thing of everyone understanding organic and all of that. I just truly I noticed the starch difference of how he ate versus how my grandmother ate. And I think it also made an impact and a difference in their lifespan and what was happening on his side of the family versus what was happening in my grandmother's side of the family. So the floor is open. Is what else came up for anyone before we close out the room? Trey, do you have anything
Well,
you wanted to add?
last things I did want to share was okay. So, health was talking about eating well and taking care of your body. And one of the most helpful information that I ever got was learning about the 4 diets for your blood type, because we all have different blood types. And really, based on your blood type, you guys, there's a difference. There's a difference why you're an O or an A or an AB or whatever it is you are, or a B. And let me tell you, these when you really get that, there's a book, or you could even just Google it and the information comes up. Please try and find your blood type, because based on your blood type, it's going to help you to realize that your body metabolizes things differently. So, for instance, the world's always saying, oh, an avocado is a superfood. Well, if you're an O blood type like I am, an avocado is not a superfood for us. Matter of fact, it's on the avoid list. And when you look into this information, it distinguishes things in 3 ways: it's beneficial, neutral, or avoid. And so when you really start paying attention to that, you're really going to and it's funny because my body, I found, craved the things that were on my beneficial list already, and it didn't like the things that were on the avoid already. Like for me, watermelon, I never liked any of the melons. And based on the 4 diets for my blood type, all blood types, there are very few fruits that are actually beneficial. They're either on the avoid or neutral list. So I was like, well, see, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. But it also helped you to discover why your body moves differently. So if you're an A blood type, the like keto diet is not going to help for you. A self beach or high protein, matter of fact, it's going to stress your body out. And A blood types, their bodies do not work well with high impact stuff, with high cardio. Their bodies move better with yoga and slow motion. Unlike O's, us O's, we're here to freaking hit that ground running. So please continue to look for things that are going to help you, so you could move into that smooth, gentle, comfortable, and harmonious things. Don't just listen to the high fat or the what the world is saying is a superfood, or what's beneficial, because it's not going to necessarily be beneficial for you. So thank you, beautiful. I love all the information you're sharing, and I am so excited for Thursday.
Yes, I am so grateful, for all of you guys. And I wanted to actually explain to you, like, she is spot on. And I learned it the hard way. So my first weight spike happened when my church did the Daniel fast, Trey, and it took me years to really figure that out. And I want to say it was an episode with Oprah where they brought up that whole thing. when I tell you, you know how most people say like, oh, like they feel so amazing. So I was going, it was called like in the month of June, we used to do this consecration. And so we did the Daniel fast. And I'm talking about this was like, so that meant no meat. So I had no healthy fat and no pretty much mostly no protein from like animals, right? Um, and when I tell you I felt so sluggish and I'm when I say working out like every single day. And I put on 39 and a half pounds in 1 month, Trey. 1 month. And when I saw an episode on Oprah, and it really truly helped me when I looked to see what the salad dressings had. And I'm telling you, I didn't cheat. That whole month I had no donuts. Like I didn't, it wasn't Krispy Kreme wasn't on the Daniel fast list. It was just purely like a vegetarian protocol. And I felt horrible, horrible. And again, that was that thing that woke me up when I saw another lady who was similar to my age and her story. And she put on, I think she was like 40 pounds, 41 pounds, something like that. I was like, oh my God. And guess what, Trey? She was an O type. Similar thing. So I really highly recommend that you find a protocol that's going to be in harmony with your brain. It's not a one size fits all. It's not a one size fits all. And so it took years for me to realize, like, oh, I was like, I feel like so much better. Like when I have that protein, like I was like, especially like salmon and fish, so which is why a pescatarian protocol, I'm more of a pollo pescatarian. It really works well for me. And I'm like, I feel amazing. And also, I went down just the yoga and Pilates thing. Like, I really just was trying out all the things. And I was just like, yeah, but I don't feel good like how I normally feel. Like, but when I put back the cardio and the high intensity, interval trainings and I, did both. Goodness, I was in the best shape of my life once I really figured that piece out. So I'm on my way back, Trey. So I'm so glad that you brought that up. We're not all the same. We don't all respond to things the same, and that's a beautiful thing. There's variety. And so I don't want you, it doesn't mean that the keto way is bad or the vegetarian way is bad or you know what I mean? I hope y'all heard what Trey was saying, the point that she was getting to. So it's not one size fits all. You just have to pay attention to what it is that works with you. And this is why I brought that up on Thursday, you guys, just because one nutrient, let's say for instance, chaga doesn't work for you. Guess what? There may be something, maybe the chlorophyll will, maybe the quercetin will. So you just can't stop. Don't just stop and say, well, I ain't gonna try nothing. No, you keep going until you find the right solution for you. And that's why every week I'm going to continue to keep introducing you and helping to guide you towards other options. And one of these options are going to work, one or more are going to work for you. But don't give up. Don't give in. Take your heart seriously. Don't treat your body like a house that you can move out of. This is your forever home. While you on this side of the earth, this is your forever home. You got to treat this body like a house that you can't move out of because you can't. I need you to protect it at that level. Just like how you take all this care for your home and your lawn and all of this, treat your body like invest in the house that houses you. Invest in the house that houses you. And at the core is your heart and your brain. Notice how a lot of the things that's good for your heart is also good for your brain. I'm Shawnte Health Wells. This has been Medicinal Monday. If there are no further questions, comments, if all hearts and minds are clear, I want to thank you guys for celebrating my grandma's heavenly birthday with her today. I like to say this would have been the start of her new year. And I'm grateful, and I hope that you guys will come back for Rucking and Bucking at 7 p.m. with GA Kay, and Dr. Jen will be filling in for me. And I will be back next Monday for Ruckin' and Buckin' for those of you who like our evening rooms. And tomorrow, Breakfast with Champions, the room gets open at 4 a.m. on the other side of the pond, our international room. And then at 5 a.m., we come back across the pond stateside. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the place. Have a phenomenal, listen, medicinal Monday. Woo! Thank you guys. If you want to unmic, we can do the countdown and I'll get those cheat sheets if you would like. Thank you. God bless you, you and your mom. And thank you, Denny. I hope to see you guys Thursday for my next segment. And Trey, thank you for being my co-pilot here. Thank you. Hey, Holly. Thank you, Jenny, for being here. Dr. EP. Thank you guys all. Love you and mean it. Let's count this thing down. 5. Dr. King said you matter. 4. Hakuna Matata. 3. Your life has meaning. 2. Cuckoo. 1. Go make it a great day.